Colts Man of the Year, Reggie Wayne.
Y'all back. I know you're not bored. Y'all done played the Colts 20 times in 10 years, and you done won 3 games.
Of the year. He's Man of America.
Nashville, the Indianapolis Colts are the hottest team, not only in the AFC South, but the entire NFL.
With the 34th pick, the 2019 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Brock Yassin.
Select future Hall of Famer, linebacker from Stanford, Bobby Okereke.
Marvell Tell the Third, EJ Speed,
Jerry Green.
Jackson Barton,
First pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Kyler Murray. The New York Jets select Brennan Williams.
No, that's the lag you see. There's like a 20-second lag, but we're live. Anyways, welcome everybody to a special edition of D-Line Sports Show. We apologize immediately right off the bat. We were supposed to start the show at 6. We had some technical difficulties, but we are back up and running. We don't have everything just the way you guys are used to seeing it. But we will the next show. But anyways, we are here at the beautiful Burn&Bet Sports App Studios with Coach Swopes. God, I did it right this time.
You got it.
We got a special guest here. We'll, if you guys don't know him, we'll introduce him here in a minute. But we got to pay the bills, so we definitely want to thank Preferred Mechanical Services for all. Hand me that card. I always forget. I think it's 924-4024. For all your heating and cooling needs, call our friends at Preferred Mechanical Heating and Cooling at area code 317-924-4042. Hey, I did get the number right.
There you go.
Oh my God, this memorization thing might be starting to kick in with me.
I don't even have my number memorized.
But anyways, you guys, I guarantee you, and I give you my word that if you guys give them a call, they will give you the best service at the best price without trying to rip everything out of your wallets. If you've called other people, hey, you need a new system when you only needed a new board. These guys will not sell you stuff that you do not need. I personally guarantee you that. And if you mention D-Line Sports, you will get 10% off of your bill. For homeowners only. Commercial property does not apply to this promo. So, we got some other people to thank. We want to thank our video guru. You can catch him on Instagram, and his tag is at ColtsVids, VIDZ. He's a great young man, works his butt off on these videos, huge Colts fan. So go to Instagram, check him out. He's an awesome young man. Really, really blessed to have him on board. Coach Swopes, what's Brother O'Brother up to nowadays?
Well, I believe they actually have a show today, 29th.
Today is the 29th.
No, today is the 30th. They had a show last night. I'm sorry. Over at the Hi-Fi. I'm not sure when their next one's coming up, but if you get an opportunity to go see them, they play a lot on the south side over at the Hi-Fi. I've seen them over at the Vogue. They're really solid rock band.
Nice. So if you guys like our music that we use for our intro videos, that is the band called Brother Oh Brother. Awesome dudes. We really appreciate them letting us have the rights to the music for the show. Music always makes things better.
Yes, it
Especially
does.
when you can rock to it and it gets you all pumped up and jazzed. But anyways, over here to my right, we have the one, the only, the myth, the legend, the man, Dalton. If I say it right, or if I say it wrong, don't swing at me.
I'll try not to.
Tinklenberg.
Tinklenberg. You were
I was close.
I've been called worse.
Well, I bet you have just from talking with you a little bit. But anyways, Dalton is a special guest today because he is a sports writer. He has his own stuff on social media. You guys probably know him through Blue HQ, Sports Media Pass. There's some other stuff I know I'm forgetting.
There's a ton of stuff. There's Blue HQ Media, which is our main company. There's some different branch off stuff. So there's Sports Media Pass, which is all of our sports stuff. And then there's BreakTheFourth.com. I'm not real active there, but that's our entertainment guys. Movie reviews, music, comics, the whole 9 yards.
Well, you guys got a lot of verticals with what you're doing. Awesome. That is awesome. But anyways, you guys, Dalton did a 7-round draft report card. And there was no way I was letting him slip through without getting him on the show so we can talk about the report card. I don't know if we're going to hit all 32 teams because we can get stuck on a couple topics pretty easy. We're probably going to do that, but we'll definitely start off with the Colts report card. Talk a little Colts information. We just got a new running back from Kansas City.
Spencer Ware.
Yeah, Spencer Ware. What do you think about that, Coach?
I think he's quick. He's rugged. I hope he makes the team. I think he may. He looks like a Colts running back to me. So,
how many years has he been in the league? 3, 4.
He was in Kansas City, I think, 3 years, and he bounced around Seattle 2.
Okay.
Might be 5. I think it's 4 or 5.
Okay.
So, and a running back's lifespan is what, 3 years?
If they got a lot of miles on him, but I don't think he's got a ton of carries.
Yeah, I think he's always been a supplementary role.
Yeah,
With
he's
our
a complimentary back for sure.
When I seen that, the first thought process is that he's going to take over special teams, kickoff return, punt return, things of that nature. Because CB is really, really happy with our backfield with Mack and Hines.
Yeah.
I don't see him trying to.
Well, and I like Wilkins too. So.
Well, Wilkins, yeah. I forget a few
of-
things every once in a while. He just wasn't as prevalent as.
Well, and am I mistaken? Didn't we pick up Jay Ajayi during the offseason?
We had him in for a visit, but we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't pick him up.
Okay.
We also had Ware in for a visit earlier in the year and didn't sign either one of them. I think maybe Ballard was waiting to see if anybody fell in the draft that he liked.
Yeah.
And then go back to these two guys, depending on what happened in the
Well,
draft.
there was only 2 running backs in the entire draft.
It seemed that way.
Didn't it though?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's new Colts news. We got rookie training camp, mini training camp starts this Friday. So the coaches are going to get a good look at everybody that they just picked up. A lot of stuff's happening. I'm missing football. I'm ready for it to start already.
Good heavens.
And you know what? There's been a lot of people message me, hey, you going out to the training camp again this year? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, hey, let's all try to get together. So if you guys want to get to training camp, I can't say that I'll be the best guide because this is only the second year out at, what park is that called?
Was it Grant Park?
Grant Park up in Noblesville. But we'll have a lot of fun. So if everybody wants to get together, let's start putting that together. We'll go out as a group and, cheer on our team. I'm thinking the Browns practice.
I'd
Practice.
love to
I
do
think
that.
that would be a great day for all of us to get together, go out there as a group. And
Well, and sometimes those tend to get a little chippy. It might be fun for something like that.
I think it'd be a blast. Dalton, you in?
long as I'm not credentialed.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Big Sports Writer. He's going to be on the field. If he is, we're going to throw donuts at him.
I got to give Baker some tips.
Ooh. Don't be talking about my guy.
Well,
I like Baker Mayfield. I know he's not a Colts fan, but I like Baker. And I tell you what draws me to him is his passion for winning and the passion he still has for this game at this level.
I think the Browns are going to let a lot of people down this year.
Oh. Now, ESPN just released their power rankings, and they've got Cleveland at number 8. Do you think they've got that wrong?
That's a joke. You got a sophomore quarterback who nobody had tape on, right? Think about when Deshaun Watson come into the league, and everybody's like, oh, my God, he's the second coming of, Joe Montana. He's great. He's going to light up defenses in his second year.
Didn't Dabo say he was the Michael Jordan of football?
Something like that, yeah. So the second year is always telling for a quarterback. I think people are starting to,
You think the NFL is going to figure him out, huh?
Well, I've seen people photoshopping Browns players with the Lombardi Trophy in their hand. I think that's a bit much.
Yeah, putting the
That's
cart
a
before the
stretch.
horse
Now,
a little bit.
When they got OBJ, I called it right then and there, and I got it on live video. I'm calling it a diva explosion. They've got the talent coming out the wazoo right now, but they got some diva talent. And I said within, I think I said 3 years, that diva explosion was going to happen and they would be crap again.
If they start losing games, it's going to heat up real quick in Cleveland.
Oh, I guarantee it. And I was talking to somebody earlier saying that they're going to win 4 or 5 games immediately,
but
lose a couple, and then that diva explosion is going to happen this year.
Think about this, though. The way things are lining up for them in that division, I mean, Pittsburgh's obviously on the downslide.
They're going to win the division this year.
You think Pittsburgh's going to win the division?
Yeah.
Based on?
I mean, look at the history in Pittsburgh. You're going to tell me that a running back who seemingly has a replacement in James Conner and a wide receiver who personally I think was destructive to the team from the inside. Yeah, that's going to keep them from being successful.
No,
I think it's a
no. That's not the reason that I.
Can I interrupt you guys real quick?
No, this is good.
This is awesome, and I hate to interrupt this, but this is something that I did that was really, really bad. I forgot to mention our production manager. He's a big e-gamer guy, esports guy. He has his own stream channel. He does an absolute ton of work for us, and I forgot to mention him at the beginning of the show. So I need to thank Mr. Nunu, which is his nickname. But you can find him.
Bring up the research.
You can find him at Twitch at Lionitis, LIONITOUS. If you like playing Fortnite, Apex, all that good stuff, Madden, NBA 19, he's an absolute beast when it comes to gaming. And I forgot him, and he's done so much for the show.
And you forgot the beast on the research.
I did. I forgot 2 of the most critical pins to this moving operation here. Yeah. So, anyways, let's go back to talking sports. I apologize, you guys. I have got no excuse. I'm a complete idiot.
Well, to get back what we were talking about, I think Roethlisberger is about a year from being petrified. I mean, I think
he's
at least got 2 more years.
You think so?
I said they were going to win the division this year. I never said anything about the next year.
And that defense isn't what it used to be. It really isn't. So I believe between that, I think Baltimore hasn't quite found their identity yet. And then
that's fast approaching, though.
And Cincinnati's a dumpster fire. I mean,
Cleveland's got to become the new Cleveland.
Yeah.
As much as I don't believe in Cleveland, Cincinnati's got a lot going on. It's not great.
To me, Cleveland's got a real shot at it this year. At the division, anyway.
Who's in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's Baltimore.
Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's
NFC or AFC North. I'm sorry. But yeah,
that's a pretty light prediction to make there, though. I mean, their only competition is Cleveland, and that's.
But if you look at the rest of Cleveland's schedule, though, it's not a killer
They're
schedule.
gonna beat themselves. I'm telling you. You save this video when it's over. And you
Oh,
go back and
we're
watch
going
it
to.
in a
I,
year.
Oh no! Don't forget, we record everything.
Oh, yeah.
and our recording is our
Hey,
podcast.
and I'm not getting emotional about this thing. I'm listening.
I'm telling you, you give it about a year, and we'll revisit it. And say, man, Dalton was right. Doesn't happen often, but he was right on this one.
Awesome. All right, Dalton. Let's talk about some Colts players, some grades. Let's start off. What did you grade the Colts on their draft selection this year?
Well, I didn't give any team an overall grade, but I graded each selection. So, I mean...
Kristen, can you write down the grades and average them out? You're the school teacher.
Yeah. So I...
The other person I forgot to mention that keeps giving me evil looks.
She comes from a long line of Browns fans over
Oh,
here.
that's terrible. So sorry.
And she roots for Dallas.
Yes.
Hey, you know what?
Now you know why I forgot her.
Side note, I got to be in AT&T Stadium this year when Notre Dame played there, and that place is
It's a beautiful
massive.
stadium, isn't it?
That's the biggest stadium I've ever seen.
It's got to be massive.
And they had the best mac and cheese in any press box ever. Throwing it out there.
See, you don't find this kind of information in any other sports show.
They hook you up in those press boxes, I'm telling you.
Well, as I was walking into the press box, there was an announcement. It was like, make sure you try AT&T's famous mac and cheese. I gotta try it. Amazing. That's all I ate the whole game.
Wow.
Felt terribly sick.
They want the low carb diet.
Yeah, right. So, go ahead.
No, please. I was just going to get you back on track.
Yeah, that's not easy to do. Rocky Sin, their first pick in the second round. A huge guy on. I gave him an A. Kind of leaning towards an A plus, to be honest with you, but I settled with an A because I don't think anybody really deserves an A plus in the draft. You just don't know. I had him ranked coming into the draft right up in the same conversation with Byron Murphy, not Byron Williams. Ew.
Yeah.
Byron Murphy as the best corner in the draft. You know, a lot of people wanted Greedy Williams. I think Greedy is more of a man corner. I think the Colts like to play more of a zone.
Yeah.
Well, if you look, that to me, it's telling where Greedy Williams fell at.
Yeah. Well, he's a small guy.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of concerns with his durability. Is he going to hold up? What happens when you put him on, you know, a zone-centric defense? Can he hold his own weight?
Yeah.
See, and that's everything that I've been reading about Rocky Sin. Did I say it right?
Rocky Sin, yeah.
Yassine, that he is so versatile. He's going to kill you in man, but he's versatile enough to be dangerous in his zone.
Well, and he's a willing tackler. He's
Yeah.
going to come down and support the run too.
I'm not going to lie to nobody. He's the only one that was on my radar for the draft. Now, I didn't have the Colts actually picking him, but I had him on my radar. All my other picks that the Colts picks weren't even on my radar.
Now, do you think he has a chance to start this year?
Yes.
Definitely.
The guy is an exceptional ball hawk. I mean, some of the best ball skills in the draft. I think he is an immediate slide-in day one starter, and I think he makes a big impact.
Now, I haven't watched a ton of tape on Rocky Sin, but can he slide down and play in the slot?
He didn't do it a whole lot at Temple from the tape I watched, but I mean, from what I've seen, I think he can. You know, he's a big guy too. He stands at 6'2".
Yeah.
You know, so we're not talking about. You guys remember back in the day, the old Colts cornerbacks always seemed to be like 5'2".
Yeah.
It seemed like, you know.
Yeah, the 5'8", 5'9" corner, the David Macklin's.
Yeah, getting bodied.
Yes.
Moving on to the next pick, Ben Bannigue. This is something that at the time of the draft, and all these grades are really instant reaction. You know, these are, all right, it's happened, let's grade it. At the time, I gave it a B-, and I even wrote, you know, this is a selection that's hard to get behind in my eyes. You know, everybody had this guy as a 4th-round grade, and the Colts take him in the 2nd round, right, with their first pick or the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. Sorry. The more I look into it, the more I like him. You know, he's at TCU. His production was decent. but his athletic ability is just off the charts.
And he's physical.
Yeah. I mean, his numbers at the combine were good. I think that, he has the chance to be an impact player for the Colts, much like Yasin. But we'll be fair, and I'll say what I graded him afterwards. I gave him a B-, like I said.
Well, yeah, he ran a 4.62 at the combine, and he had a 134-inch broad jump. The kid's gonna be explosive, I think.
Yeah. Like I said, the more I look into it, and the more I think about it, let the instant reaction sort of slide away, the more I like the pick.
Yeah.
If I had to regrade him, I'd say probably a B+. But I gave him a B- at the time, so that's what we'll stick with. Paris Campbell, right? A lot of people liked a lot of different receivers in this draft. You heard the hype about DK Metcalf, which we ultimately saw was a smokescreen, as it probably should have been. Hakeem Butler is another guy who slid. N'Keal Harry, all these guys that people really like.
To me, they all slid.
Yeah.
I was shocked how low wide receiver went.
Harry was the
Did you
first
think
one
Brown?
picked, right?
Yeah.
AJ Brown. Do you think he slid?
Who was it?
Brown.
Yeah, I did.
You think he slid too?
Yeah, I think now I don't know that I had him as a first-round talent, but I had him as a very high second-round talent. I actually thought maybe he might be, the Colts selection with the second pick in the second round, their first pick, second pick overall in the second round.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. My mouth was watering when DK Metcalf was available at the end of the first round, and we had that first pick. I was really thinking that's a number 2 guy for Hilton.
When Metcalf slid past about 18, I realized, all right, the scouts are
they found
smarter
something.
than,
He's exposed.
and that's the thing we were talking before the show. He can't change directions. He's a very big and physical receiver. He's fast.
Yeah.
But he can't make cuts. And as a wide receiver, as any player, is it worth taking a one-trick pony in the first round?
Apparently not.
It is.
Yeah, apparently not.
So now to Seattle in the third round, that's great, awesome.
Yeah.
First round, high second round, no. So Paris Campbell, I gave him an A, right? I mean, the guy, I wrote an article on it on sportsmediapass.com. It's insane when you think about the Colts wide receiving corps and what they have. Now, a lot of people seem to have forgotten about Deion Kane and his ACL injury last year, but he's coming back.
I've been talking a lot
I have
about
not
him.
forgot about him.
Guy's 6'2", right? So
he's got great hands.
There's your big physical receiver that you want.
Yeah.
And
then Funchess.
Right. He's what, 6'2"? Is he 6'2"?
Yeah,
also?
I think he is.
Another big guy. So you have 2 big guys now.
But they say Functions, his problem's catching. His hands.
They said the same thing about Ebron when he came to Indy last year, though. I mean,
he was.
That's what
to me for 1 year, for a 1 year deal, he's worth taking a risk on.
Absolutely. If he doesn't pan out,
so
bring Kane in and draft somebody else next year.
Yeah.
Side note: I love that Lions fans still harass Ebron on social media. How petty are you? It's been over a year since the player left.
And they hate that he's doing well here.
Right. Get a life, Detroit. You wonder why Barry Sanders retired early.
So about Paris Campbell, I mean, does he automatically step in as a number 3 for us, as a slot guy? Or
I think he puts some pressure on Chester Rogers. I think Rogers was feeling the heat a little bit after round 2 of the draft. Whether or not he slides in as a quote-unquote number 3, that remains to be seen. A lot of his production at Ohio State came on shorter passes.
Well, he had a lot of gimmicky stuff on his
absolutely.
film. It was
he's really
shovel passes
player.
Yeah.
You get him the ball in space, and he can make some moves and turn a 2 or 3 yard pass into a 20 or 30 yard pass.
Yeah.
So.
See, I was listening to Dan Dockett the other day, and he had the coach for Ohio State. Just lost.
Ryan Day?
No.
Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer. And he was talking like he could give that boy the ball anywhere in the field, and he was going to produce. He said you can give it to him 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll produce for you.
Well, I mean, he's got
good.
blazing straight line
fast.
speed. He's good in a tight area also. He's slippery.
And Coach Myers was even talking that when he was a freshman, sophomore, he had trouble dropping the ball. He said, but we worked that out of him. He said he won't drop nothing now.
Right.
He goes, he was just loving Campbell.
So far, my only concern with him is his size. I mean, I know they've got him listed at 6 foot, but I think that's generous. And they've also got him listed at 205. However, he looks a little more slight.
Yeah. But if he's one of those gimmicky players, as long as he can remain healthy,
Yeah.
you're never going to ask him to be a bruiser.
No.
You know, I mean, you want him out in space, you want him to not get hit ideally, but I think he serves a purpose in the offense. I think they'll use him in a lot of quote-unquote gimmicky roles. Throw it to him in the flats, screens.
A lot of bubble
try
screens,
To get him,
yeah.
Try to get him out in space and see what he can do.
I
We'll see what happens
guarantee
with
you,
Rodgers.
all these other teams are going to know these reports.
Oh, yeah.
You put him on the field, he's taking pressure off of T.Y.
Oh, yeah.
That alone is worth, to me, getting that guy on the team. Because last year, who took pressure off of T.Y.?
The Houston Texans secondary.
Yes.
There you go. My point exactly. So you bring in, somebody like Campbell that actually can produce. Not only is he going to take pressure off of your number one, but if luck checks down and he goes to number 2 or number 3, you're going to feel confident enough that he's going to make that play.
Well, and I think Funchess, if he ends up working out, I think he can be a solid possession receiver.
He's young, too.
Yeah, he's only 27.
Is he that old?
Yeah,
He's
27.
Is that old? Well, I wish I was 27.
Yeah,
I was thinking he was 25, 24.
I could be wrong. But
We
I
got a
thought he was
research
27.
assistant that could probably figure that out for us as we move on with the show.
I'm going to slaughter these next couple names, but, it happens.
Welcome to my world.
Well, give my best. Bobby Okereke.
From Stanford.
From Stanford, right? Not a super eye-popping pick right off the top of the head. He did show really strong improvement every year at Stanford.
Well, they talk about his IQ a lot. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, Stanford, it's not
Yeah.
Clemson or Alabama. Not to shade at those guys, but, you don't have people taking your classes for you. We experienced that with Luck and his IQ. One thing that I do like about him is his size and athleticism for the linebacker position.
4.58 40 for a 239-pound linebacker is pretty
He
solid.
can move.
Yeah.
I remember right after the draft, off the top of my head, I think they wanted to slide him into the will position. Does that sound right?
I think
I've heard
that's
that,
what
yeah.
they said.
I think that's what they were saying.
They're talking like they feel like he can move sideline to sideline really well though.
Yeah.
So if they have to put him in at Mike, he'll be okay.
Well, his athleticism, and that's one thing that really stood out in this draft was athleticism, right? Just for the simple fact that, he never, it's kind of what we were talking about before the show, the Sean Gary, those type of players. He never really produced eye-popping numbers in college, so I gave him a C+.
Okay.
Don't want to overshoot just because it's a Colts pick. I gave him a C+.
It's hard to be biased when it's your team.
Well, you deal with the thing that I tell people all the time, right, is when I started doing the journalism thing, it helped get the fan out of me, right? Because you can't effectively be a fan and give fair and honest criticism. It's really hard to do because, I want the Colts to win every game every year, but I can't write an article and say, well, the Colts didn't win, they lost by 40 because of the refs. No, there's some deeper issues in there. Well, we'll stay away from that one, but no, absolutely not. My highest rated pick of the Colts draft is next, the 109th overall pick. I know I said earlier, a really hard time giving.
They traded to get into this one,
but Willis, the safety from Michigan State, gave it A+.
He kind of had a weak combine.
I really like how he fits with Hooker.
I think so too. His stat line for last year was really good for.
He's a guy who exceeds in the box. Really
Yes,
good
definitely,
tackler.
definitely.
He can come downhill and stop the run.
84 tackles in 13 games.
Right.
That's solid.
And I like the way he plays paired with the ball hawking ability of Hooker. And now you have
Definitely.
Rocky
I think they'll
Sin
complement
as a
each other.
cornerback, Pierre Desir, Kenny Moore. The Colts secondary, it's
looking
starting to
better.
look pretty good.
Yeah, I got to meet Kenny the other day.
Really?
Last Friday.
Nice.
I was at the NRA convention downtown, and Adam Vinatieri has a ranch out in Missouri. And I walked by and I saw him, and so I'm talking to Adam and stuff, and Kenny Moore and Matthias Farley showed up. And so I was doing a live video, and I posted it in our groups and stuff, and Matthias was back here in the back behind me, you know, being silly and stuff like that. And
He's a weird guy, but I like him.
He's fun. Man, just for the few blinks of seconds that, you know, I got to be around them, they were having a lot of fun, you know. And Adam was freaking awesome.
Is he about 65 now?
No, he just looks it.
I think he's a year older than me.
He's going to play forever.
I hope so. I asked him to come back next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, we'll see. So you heard that's breaking news.
NFL
Easy
age,
Line Sports.
NFL age and regular age are two different things.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Regular 40-year-old man, you got a lot of time left. When you were, what is he, 45, 46?
I think he's 45.
45?
Yeah.
That's ancient. In any sports league, really. I mean, that's... But he still
Aside
plays
from
high
golf.
level. Well,
Yeah.
Now, I guarantee you, I got something that nobody else in this world got. I had
You
Adam
really set up a
Vinatieri.
joke there. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I was
Kenny
thinking
Moore.
something to do with a testicle, but
Leave my third testicle out of this conversation,
it's a
buddy.
tristicle.
I got Adam Vinatieri, Kenny Moore, and
Matthias Farley.
Matthias Farley signed my NRA patch.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I love it. I'm just such a fanny geek. All right, yeah, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, it's okay.
You mentioned Moore, and that popped it up. But you're talking about Willis and how he's your all-star
A+
from the draft.
A plus.
A plus.
That good.
Yeah, I just it's more so I like him as a player, but I like him as a fit even more.
He's a playmaker.
Yeah, I think that he is a young safety that they'll pair with Hooker, and it'll form a good bond for the next 5, 6, 7 years or more. So A plus there. Tell the third safety out of USC. Gave him a B minus. To be clear, I don't think he's going to play safety for the Colts. I think they're going to slide him to cornerback.
Nickel.
Probably.
He's athletic as hell. The tape I watched of him, he closes so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, he closes incredibly fast. He's explosive.
If nothing else, he'll be a heck of a player on special teams.
He had a 136-inch broad jump. And, I mean, that's phenomenal. Standing broad jump. And this dude's weighing 198 pounds. He's going to be like a missile flying around out there. 42-inch vertical. So
But
he's
he's still got-
athletic.
He's
as
still
hell.
got a C from you.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
According to ESPN, or not ESPN, NFL.com's grade on I guess his prospect grade,
Right.
they've got him as having a chance to become a starter at some point.
You can see at some point. Yeah. But I think it'll be cornerback and not safety.
I could see that because of his size.
We get a little bit interesting here moving into the next two because the next one's really unknown. And EJ Speed. If anybody out there has film of EJ Speed, please send it to me.
The only thing I know about EJ Speed is he plays linebacker. He's 6'3" and 227 pounds, and he has a wonderful smile.
And he used to play quarterback in high school.
He played quarterback in high school. That is the only film I've seen of this kid. It's on YouTube. And he was a solid quarterback. He's really athletic. But that doesn't mean anything to me at linebacker. So
And what college did he come out of?
Tarleton State.
I've never heard that name before.
He's from Fort Worth, Texas.
You know where Tarleton State is?
Kristen does.
All right.
Tiny town in Texas.
Wow.
So again, if anybody
Talk about not being on your radar.
Yeah,
and
please.
Somebody,
If
how,
anybody knows anything about EJ Speed,
how do they
call
find
us.
people like this?
I spent hours researching prospects all across the draft. Several who went undrafted, several from small schools. Had never heard of EJ Speed. To be completely transparent and honest before the draft, did some research on him. He was arrested for 2 counts of organized crime in 2018.
So he's in the mafia. Right.
Now we know
Now
how he
we're
got
getting
in.
down into it, baby.
It was eventually dismissed. It just stuck out to me because how many times you see a player arrested for
Organized
a
crime.
DUI or whatever. This
He had
guy
a RICO warrant.
organized crime. Playing too much mafia.
Oh, dear God.
But
Damn Grand Theft Auto. I knew it'd get to those young kids.
So he played 35 games from what I could see at Tarleton State. Finished with a stat line of 231 tackles, 36 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks, 10 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and 8 forced fumbles.
But at Tarleton State, who played the Sisters of the Blind.
Hey, you know what?
Grand Mary of something.
So in all fairness, I gave him a C.
Yeah. Because you just
It's
don't know.
hard. A C is average. You don't want to give him a good grade. You don't want to give him a bad grade because
He's got solid size.
he looked great as a quarterback in high school. So, it is what
Now
it
watch,
is.
he's going to be the next face of the
Man,
NFL.
you never know.
that comes from this
never
tiny
know.
dot on the map in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
EJ Speed, if you see this, come to our studio.
Oh, we'll get him on. We'll get him on. I'll give him a shout.
Fantastic.
His career might be over quickly
Why? Because he came on our
Because we
show?
brought
because
him
his
on.
last name's Speed.
Ooh, bad puns.
Yeah.
Not used to those around
That's
here.
the most I know about EJ Speed. Is bad puns and organized crime.
I think you and the rest of the media world, that's all they're talking about. They're not really talking about this shit.
NFL.com didn't even give him a
They're
grade.
talking about how there's nothing out there on him.
Yeah. That's
Hey,
awesome.
It's unbelievable, right? I can go to like Weber State and look up film for those guys and find it. Can't find it. I'm convinced that Tarleton State doesn't even exist.
Well,
And
they
this guy
had a promo video that he was doing for them, basically begging the community for a new stadium for Tarleton State. And I saw that. And that was cool because, I mean, he's got a great personality. He seems like a good kid.
I'm convinced it's all a ploy. This guy doesn't actually exist. I don't know, man. But like I said, I gave him a C. Jerry Green, next player, another guy that's kind of under the radar.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, looks like they have him listed as an outside linebacker.
Yeah, they put him down as an edge guy. There's some film with him with his hand down, some of it with him just running around the end. He's a pass rush specialist,
That's
from what I
kind
understand.
of what I got from what I
Yeah.
watched on him.
Very quick.
A lot of these guys, he has a lot of speed.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, they seem to be team captains, high character, great personality guys. That's what you're getting with Jerry Green. Numbers didn't pop off the chart in college, but I like him. I think worst case scenario, he's a solid special teams contributor.
Yeah, and a fill-in guy.
Best case scenario, you use him as a situational pass rusher. You put him in on second and long, third downs, let him go after the
I think you see guys like this, and they end up being like on field goal block teams, punt block teams, stuff like that.
Yeah, but if you pay attention to what Ballard keeps talking about, building the locker room atmosphere.
Yeah.
You
It's
take
very
that
important.
with what you just talked about, and now look at their talent, look at their size, look at their capabilities, and tell me that the Colts are not going to be rotating their defensive line in and out all game to keep fresh legs in there.
Oh, yeah.
And when you have the talent to where you can rotate them in and out like that, you are an absolute dangerous
You
defense.
can never have enough pass rush.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something the Colts struggle with,
Yeah.
It
For
seems like
ever.
since Mathis
Mathis.
and Freeney left.
Yeah.
I have a fun story about Mathis I'll tell you after the show.
Well, no, you got to tell the show. You done
Is
opened
this,
up the can,
is this
buddy.
a family-friendly story?
Yeah, we're a family show, damn
Well,
it.
you know what? For anybody who knows us from our time at Blue HQ Media Live, I'd like to apologize if you came out to this show. We actually had Robert scheduled to appear, right? Advertised it, announced it, and everything. And so the night came that he was going to be on. It was Tuesday night. Show was like 7 o'clock. 6:55 rolls around. He's not there yet. The whole restaurant, whole bar is filled with Colts fans. Like, oh boy, what's going on? So we have to go live at 7. It's like 7:15. We have people trying to get a hold of them. his agent wrote down that it was a Thursday night instead of a Tuesday night, and he never showed.
Oh.
So that was probably the worst day of my life, watching about 250 Colts fans walk out and give me dirty looks.
Oh,
So,
boy.
That's why I gave the draft last year a D. Kidding, of course.
Did he ever get to reschedule? Or did you get to reschedule that show
He
since
did
the
not.
mix-up?
No, we never.
That's
did.
a shame. That'd be great to have him.
We ended up having Miles Turner and Gary Brackett on the I think the following week. That was a really good show, but the show didn't hang around much longer after that. You know, things happened outside of our control, and
One flat tire will stop the whole car.
we
Sometimes.
right into the wall in turn one.
That hurts. Well, at least you're here with us now.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I don't know how Coach Swopes feels about it, but hell, you can come in here anytime you want.
I was hoping I could live here. My wife kicked me out today, so.
Well, it's a studio, but not a studio apartment.
I'm kidding. She's probably listening.
There's
I love
a
you.
dog bed.
We do have a dog bed.
Yeah.
We
That's
usually
fine.
have a 50-pound German Shepherd in
We'll
here.
make it work, right?
She is in heat, though, so.
Oh.
Hey.
Well,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna have to look for somewhere else, right?
We're supposed to get a big beeper button when I go over the line about
Get a
things.
taser.
Don't.
No.
Hey, that would bring some
No.
audience.
No.
So if I haven't said it yet, Jerry Green's a C+ for me. I think, like I said, real high character guy, but you know, I think his upside is limited. Given you expect that a little bit in the later rounds, but adjusting for where he's at, I still give him a C+. Jackson Barton, offensive tackle from Utah. I really like this pick, right? I think that it's a need that the Colts foresee themselves having that not a lot of people see them having yet. You know, people ask all the time, is Anthony Costanzo the answer at left tackle? And if he is, he's been around a while.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, you know. I think that with the whole Jackson Barton thing, it's an upside pick. Gave him an A-. I think he has a lot of potential there. If nothing else, he's depth on the offensive line, and we know how important that is.
Well, and we may disagree on this one. He's a very late round pick, and being a tackle, I think best case scenario for this kid, he makes the team, and he's a rotational guy or a fill-in guy coming in as a backup. Maybe at right tackle. If he's versatile enough to be able to play guard, he's awful tall. I mean, he's 6'7", 310. And from what I've seen of him on film and in the combine, he stands up a lot. And when I say stands up, he's vertical a lot.
That's something he's going to have
And
to
he's high in
address.
his hips. So he's going to get rocked backed on a bull rush all day long.
see
Yeah,
for
but that's
the first-
technique. Technique can be changed. Technique
Maybe.
can be learned.
Maybe.
Technique can be taught.
That's one of those things it's tough to teach it out of somebody that's part of their game at that point in their
One
career.
thing
know,
you'll see
especially-
from me, if you look at any of the players that I evaluated before the draft, competitiveness and hustle is huge.
Oh, he's a hustler.
Absolutely. I mean,
He is all hustle.
whistle to whistle. If he latches onto you, he will drive you back into the bus to take you home. I mean, it's
Yeah, he doesn't stop. I'll
That's
give
why
him
I
that.
like him so much. Now, given, like you said, he might not make the roster right away. I think, if anything, he might end up on the practice squad.
Yeah.
But down the road, I see him as maybe a depth offensive.
Oh,
lineman.
I definitely think he has a chance to make it all the way through training camp. But and don't knock me on this. I hope, but like you said, he may end up on the practice squad, being a 7th round pick. These guys don't always make the team.
Yeah, but how smart is that for Chris Ballard to do, to take somebody with that size?
Well,
that
and that's
capability,
why, well, like I said, with his
invest
technique issues,
invest some time into him.
you're not
coach
gambling
him
much
up.
because you can coach him up. Physically, he's great,
Right.
but there's some little things there that need fixed.
Yeah, but
And
outside
they
of
can
the
coach that
draft,
up.
where else you gonna find these guys? You know,
Yeah.
they're not just knocking on the door to come in.
No.
You got to be invited to that stuff. Now, sure they can be invited, but if he's got the
I don't think it was a
attributes
bad pick. Though.
to be in
Don't-
the
so don't
I
get me
really
wrong.
like it. I really like
Yeah.
it.
he's got the possibility of somebody else picking him up.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he would have went undrafted by any means. I think somebody probably would have latched
Hey,
on to
I'm
him.
all for having our second string as talented as our first string because this league is so much bigger. It's so much faster. Yeah, they do a lot. The NFL does as much as they can to keep people from getting hurt. But you keep watching. Injuries are going to keep plaguing team after team after team. And if you do not have a solid second core, you're out.
It's going to hurt you.
You are completely gone. You're done for. Put the chickens in the house, close the door, it's over.
Yeah, you got to have that.
So I love this pick. I love how Ballard is building that quality second and third string.
We need it.
I love this pick. But hey, I'm a lineman. I've been a lineman all my life. There's been two quarterbacks that I've absolutely liked, and it's Luck and Manning. Other than that, I want to kill them all. It's the way we talk.
So my last pick the Colts had was Javon Patterson. I must be on the same wavelength as you because I gave him an A too. Patterson is a guy that I've really been high on for a while.
Yeah. Center from Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, right.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to come in and be a starter by any means, but he's versatile. Worst case scenario, he's an extremely versatile backup. I think he can play both guard positions and center in a pinch.
Incredibly intelligent for a lineman. I mean, he can make all the line calls for you. I don't have any argument with this pick. He's got good size. To me, he's the perfect size for center. 6'3", 307. I mean, he's not too tall that your quarterback has to find a window to look around.
Unless he's Kyler Murray.
Yeah, unless he's Kyler Murray. So to me, he's a great fit, and if he can be coached up, I think he's a solid backup.
And that just proves my point. How many times did Kelly go down last year alone?
Exactly.
With injuries.
Yeah.
And how important is that center position? The line position, and I speak about it all the time. People come up with the keys to the game. And I go back to the fundamental things. If you don't have a line, it doesn't matter what other players you got. You're getting smoked.
Yeah, I really like him. Like I said, this is pick 246. This is almost the very end, and to get a player that caliber,
he's quality.
I love it.
Awesome. All right, Kristen, what's our average?
What Dalton's score?
Yep.
Is a B.
Colts get a B. Let's see.
That doesn't include any of your guys' scores. Did you guys do?
I did not.
I just in my head I didn't write nothing down, and you can tell Coach done his homework and his due diligence, watching film on a lot of these guys, and I haven't had the chance, to put that much time into it. I did catch out Campbell, Raheem Seam, and then other obligations pulled me away. But from what I do know, I gave the Colts an A, an absolute A.
I'm incredibly shocked.
Yes. You should be. I'm that kind of guy that shocks you like that all the time.
In all fairness, a couple of other teams really got rough grades from me. So I think a B in the way I graded things is probably pretty good.
Do you have a grade for the Giants? I'm just curious.
I don't have a
because this is the one that's their draft is getting panned by everybody.
I didn't do an overall grade because I didn't do that for any teams.
Yeah.
Since I did one on every team in the NFL, it took a little bit longer than I would have liked. Daniel Jones, I gave him a D. With that being said, right? With that being said, I can't rag on the Giants for taking him. In my eyes, it's a D pick.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a D pick.
But if you believe that Daniel Jones is going to be a franchise guy, right? Don't play around with it selecting. If you think Daniel Jones is the guy that's going to lead your team to multiple Super Bowls, great.
Yeah.
You're an idiot for thinking that. But by all means, you do you. Dexter Lawrence, C-. People are super high on Dexter Lawrence. The guy is a two-down player. That's what he is. I don't think he's ever.
He's a run stopper.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to be a every down type player. And I think he's kind of like we talked about with Paris Campbell. He's kind of a player that fits into a gimmicky role.
Yeah.
That's awful high to take a player at 17. You know. I think the highest pick I had for them would have been Julian Love from Notre Dame.
Okay.
Try to avoid any homerism there, but I like Love as a player. You know, the guy, he's a consensus All-American as a cornerback.
Yeah.
That's hard to do at any position, so there's some talent there. I think he slipped in the draft because he ran a slow 40 time.
Yeah, I think he's like a 4.5 or 4.6.
4.5 or 4.6, yeah. I mean, it was
that's
pretty
so
low.
For a corner, for a corner though, I mean that's
pretty bad.
You're wanting the 4.3, 4.4 range.
Even I can run a 10.2. Come on.
O'Shane Jimenez, their third round pick, I gave him a B. Honestly, before the Senior Bowl, he would have been higher. Guy from Old Dominion, defensive end, if you don't know him. But at the Senior Bowl, he just looked like he was overwhelmed with some better competition. And that's something you struggle with guys from Old Dominion and Tarleton State. And wherever else.
Yeah.
You know, they might look great.
Well, are they going to shrink when they come into contact
put them into
with
a bigger body of water? What happens? And inversely, I think that's something that happens with the Clemson guys. You know, you have an NFL caliber defensive line. They feed off of each other. Well, what happens when you only have one Dexter Lawrence and no Farrell or who was the other guy they had? Wilkins, right.
Yeah.
Now the double team's on you. What do? And that's why I think the Raiders, for instance, I gave them a D- with Farrell at 4 overall. Josh Allen's there at Kentucky sorry Kentucky, but a terrible team.
Yeah,
you know,
but he looked fantastic.
In the SEC, and he explodes for big numbers. He's athletic. He bends well. The guy's a great player. And
he gets around the end.
Right, you give him away for a guy that you're not sure of. So I think maybe the Raiders should have kept their scouts at the facility. Because if their draft board would have gotten late, everybody else would have laughed and not believed it. So.
Yeah. Well, we talked about who you thought was on the down end. Who did you think, out of all the teams in the NFL, did the best during the draft? And let's take the Colts out of the picture.
Taking the Colts out of the picture, I really liked what the Redskins did.
I agree with that.
And there might be some teams that I graded higher. Haskins, I'm not 100% sold on.
You know, that's a lot of luck played into that too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he fell down to them at 15, they didn't do anything to get.
They didn't move.
Yeah, he just ended
Sorry,
up.
but I feel like a third wheel over here. You guys just I can't even get a word in edgewise.
Jump in.
I might as well
jump in,
go
baby.
Take a poop or
I
something.
know how you feel.
Yeah, but you want that role. I'll tell you what, though. All kidding aside, I like Haskins. I think he's going to be a top tier quarterback. Now, where he's going to fall in the rankings and all that's only time can tell on that. But I like the kid.
I just don't think he has a lot of help.
I like that they selected McLaurin out of Ohio State in the third round.
Oh, yeah, that gives him somebody familiar.
Yeah, I mean, he has a wide receiver now who's a talented wideout that he's familiar with. The seal of that draft for me, for them, well, there's two of them, really. Jimmy Moreland. I don't know if you guys saw. I did some work on him before the draft.
I don't know anything about him.
He's small, but, man, he's a ball hawk. I mean, one of the better ball-skilled secondary players in the draft, I think. But he went to James Madison, so, what do you do as you go up in talent? He went in the 7th round to Washington. And another guy that I really liked was Bryce Love.
Oh, I love that pick.
You moved back to last year, and people were talking about Bryce Love in the first round.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a Heisman candidate.
Injury?
Yeah.
ACL injury?
Yeah, I believe
He
so.
had an injury. Stanford has a down year, and people just forget about Bryce Love.
Yep. And he falls in the fourth round.
I really like what they did. I didn't like Wes Martin out of Indiana. Sorry, any IU fans that are listening. I think that's a reach. I'm just
That hurt.
not huge on it.
Well, I tell you, a lot of people were I think within the Washington organization, they were talking about the Twitter that Darius Geis was putting out about how he's
Saw that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But I think to put Bryce Love in there, maybe that pushes Geis a little bit even more. And I think Geis is going to come back with a chip on his shoulder anyway. I mean, he got hurt, and to me, he was coming out. I thought going into last year, I thought he might be the best rookie running back aside from Saquon Barkley coming out. And then he gets hurt in the preseason. So, I mean.
So I watched Geis at
LSU.
When he was at LSU, but what bowl was it? The Citrus Bowl, when they played Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They could not stop him.
Oh,
the guy was
they didn't want to tackle him at all.
That was the same game that the new Baltimore wideout Miles Boykin caught the one-handed pass, which was insane. I don't know if you saw it or not, but
it was a wonderful game. But
60-yard play.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction right now. You watch Dwayne Haskins be a game one starter for Washington.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I think he will. Yeah.
Alex Smith, who?
Yeah. Well, and Case Keenum even.
Case Keenum. They still got Colt McCoy.
They brought those guys in as insurance.
I've always liked Colt McCoy, even way back when he was in Texas. Why he couldn't?
The worst thing to happen in this draft was the Josh Rosen trade.
I agree with that.
I'm such a Fitzpatrick guy. I was so excited to see him start. Fitzmagic, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was so excited to see him play in Miami. I was hoping he'd come out and have a good year.
He still may.
Possibly.
Yeah,
No.
he still may.
I think they'll use 2019 to evaluate whether or not they want to draft a quarterback next year. So I think Rosen plays regardless of how he plays, at least for a short period of time.
I think
Rosen's going to go and start.
I think they're going to put those two guys up against each other in camp, and they're going to let them duke it out. In day one, whoever starts, that job's not written in stone. That guy's got a big opportunity to lose his job quick. If they don't come out to me and rattle off a couple wins right in a row, they're probably going to go to the other guy.
But if you don't have your marquee quarterback, you have to do that. I mean, look what Jacksonville did, with Bortles.
Well, they stuck with him and stuck with
signing
him.
for $100 and something stupid million, and then finally realized, hey, this isn't working.
Did you see what it took, though? I mean, you lose your general manager. New general manager comes in. This ain't my guy.
Right.
I mean, that's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, but why ain't it? Because
They stuck with Bortles for the longest time because somebody's reputation was hung on it. He was a number 3 pick in the draft, I think, out of Central Florida.
High.
Yeah, he was high as hell. So, and a lot of people were panning that pick when it happened. He had a decent rookie year, and then after that, he just straight down the tubes.
So, look at Miami. They're going to do all this. And all these other teams, they're going to remember this. And if they don't have that marquee quarterback, they're going to make you, from now on, I mean, that's too much money. You can't just give that kind of money away.
Well, and looking into next year, they're talking about next year being the draft for quarterbacks.
Can I make a bold prediction about that? Tua's not the first quarterback to go next year.
I bet he's not either.
So I was telling
The Trevor Lawrence from Clemson.
he's not eligible next year.
How's he not eligible?
He's a
2 years.
true freshman this year.
I know he's 2 years out of high school.
I don't think he's eligible. I think he's got next year and then the year after he can go. Because he was a true freshman this year. Next year he'll be a sophomore.
Yeah.
You have to be at least a redshirt sophomore.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, if that's the case, then he's not eligible.
But yeah, I don't think Tua goes first as the first quarterback. Not just first overall, first quarterback. I was telling you before the show, we're working on some different stuff with how we evaluate draft prospects for next year. And as an example, we use Tua. A lot of his passes are close to the line. Short passes that turn into big plays because of his playmakers. He has a lot of time to throw in the pocket. And when he's rushed, he becomes really inaccurate when he has to scramble out and be on the move. Now, given your accuracy goes down regardless,
Yeah.
guy overthrows players when he's feeling pressure. It's something he does nearly every time on the tape I watched. I watched about 5 full games. So I don't think that he goes as the first quarterback next
Who
year.
do you think the first quarterback is?
I'll get back to you on that as I study some more tape. But I mean, there's obviously some other guys. Herbert from Oregon. Who else is in the conversation? From Georgia.
Yeah, I like Fromm.
I like Ian Book from Notre Dame. I don't think he'll be the first quarterback by any means, but I think that he's going to end up in the NFL. The guy's extremely accurate. And he's deceptively athletic.
Yeah.
Which is
You
really
talk
just a way to
about-
say he's a white guy that can run.
When he gets pressured and he's out of the pocket, his production goes down. It just made me think of Patrick Mahomes and how his production goes up
That guy's ridiculous.
when he comes out.
Yeah, he doesn't even make
You want
sense.
a defensive game plan against him. Keep him in the pocket. His rating's lower when he's in the pocket. You let him outside the pocket, he's freaking thrown behind the back, over the shoulder. Magical unicorn. Finley button.
Speaking of evaluating players, and I wonder if you agree with me on this, I just have to have an axe to grind for people listening. When you're evaluating players, look at more than a highlight tape, right?
Oh, definitely.
You got
I've seen it. It's something I've never paid attention to until this year when I really got into covering the draft. But you see it way too often when people are like, I watched his highlight tape, I really like him. Curtis Painter had highlight tapes.
Oh,
A
yeah.
highlight tape is just a collection of your best. I mean, anybody that
It's
plays football
exactly
has a
what it
highlight
says
tape.
it is.
Right.
It's a highlight tape.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a few years as a scout for the Arena League, and I happened to luck out and get into Notre Dame's Pro Day back in, I want to say it was 06. It was the year Brady Quinn came out.
Okay.
So they were going
I still
in.
have his rookie card.
Yeah, they're going into the draft, and they're projecting Brady Quinn to go as high as number 3 in the draft that year. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm going to get to see Brady Quinn working out, and I'm stoked. This was my very first pro day that I got to be involved in. So I show up, and they give everybody like a room number. All the scouts get a room number. And they put me in a room with, there was a Jets scout, a 49ers scout, a Ravens scout, a Patriot scout, and there's like 4 other scouts in there. And they're like, okay, guys, who do you want to look at? And they get on like a little intercom, and they're like, who do you want to look at? And they're, well, let's start with Quinn. So they put Brady Quinn on there. And the very first play, Brady Quinn drops back, looks downfield, throws the ball, incomplete. And I heard 2 scouts snicker. Like, and I'm like, okay, now wait a minute. What did I miss? So then 2 more plays. You know, the next play was a handoff, and then they start talking to each other. And I'm thinking to myself at that point, you know, I'm seeing, okay, I'm really looking at him hard, but I'm seeing what they're kind of talking to each other. They're leaving me out of the loop because I'm not an NFL guy. So we get done, go to the pro day, watch him work out. He bench presses 25 times or 225 25 times. Spectacular for a quarterback. He's a Greek god physically. And I remember I sat down to watch the draft with the other scouts for my team, my Arena League team. We're sitting there, and they're like, when are they going to pick Quinn? It's like, he's going to fall. And they're like, what, 5, 6, 7 places? Like, dude, I don't know if he's going to go in the first round. And they're all laughing at me. And pick after pick after pick after pick goes by, and he's not getting picked, and they start looking at me. These NFL scouts know what the hell they're looking at. They really do.
That's the biggest thing that I've had to learn too, because I'm about 6 months into evaluating players, right? I was telling you guys this before the show. Something that you have to do when you do this is be confident in your own assessment.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Because
don't doubt yourself.
People will Mel Kiper says this, or Todd McShay says this. That's great, but that's not what I see when I look at the player. So that's something, anything I put out as far as a preview or a recap profile, I'll stand behind because that's what I saw. If I'm wrong, great, I'll admit it. But
all right, well, let me ask you this. A lot of people do only see these highlight clips. They might not know where to go to find more clips and footage on particular players. Or they might not have the time. You're devoting your life to this process, and you're trying to perfect your process. But as just an average, everyday working Joe, got kids running around, give them some advice to where, or some avenue where they can beef up their knowledge base when it comes to, getting all the information they can on a particular player besides a highlight reel.
So there's a lot of different outlets out there. Obviously, if you don't have the time to watch tape, that's not an option. But there's, the Giraffe Network is a really popular site. Shameless plug incoming, but sportsmediapass.com. We're going to have, starting about week 2 of the college football season, we'll start putting out 2020 prospect profiles.
Will you be putting out videos with that?
So there'll be short clips in the article showing what we're talking about. If that makes sense. So like Tua, for instance, right?
So you can illustrate.
Right. It's almost like a GIF we use. We make a GIF out of it, so it doesn't have to load a video. But the Tua article that we did is a practice run. We're talking about how when he comes out of the pocket. Now, given as a senior, he's a senior this year, right?
Yeah.
As a senior, it might be completely different. We don't know yet. We haven't seen. But from the tape I watched last year, when he comes out of the pocket, he's inaccurate. So we took one of the plays we watched, made a GIF out of it, and you can see he's under pressure. He scrambles out, and he overthrows the receiver by about 10 yards. So there it is. So I think the biggest thing to take away for people is don't just watch a highlight video and think this guy is the greatest. I think to an extent that's what happened.
It's kind of cherry picking.
Right. That's what happened with Metcalf, right? He was a media combine darling.
Yeah, definitely.
People watched his highlight tapes. Oh my goodness, this guy. You see the pictures of him all bulked up.
Showed up to his combine interview shirtless.
Right.
So I would.
I wouldn't wear a shirt if I looked like that.
No, I wouldn't either.
Full effect right now.
No, if I looked like that, I would never wear a shirt. Anyway, so just do a little bit more research before you watch a highlight tape and you think this guy is the next #1 overall pick. Because I don't know how many times I saw this year. Jerry Tillery didn't have a lot of sacks. He's not very good. Well, you watch the tape and he puts pressure on the quarterback.
Does his job.
Right.
It's no one thing. You can't look at a guy's box score, his stat line, and say this guy's great. You can't look at a guy's combine results and say this guy's great.
It helps.
It helps. You can't just go by your eye test. You got to have all of these things. All of these things
to get a true and as accurate as possible opinion formed of that player.
Take multiple sources. Go to multiple sites. And
definitely.
But definitely go to Blue HQ.
Sports Media.
Or Sports Media.
Yeah.
Sports Media Pass. We have an app too, Android and iPhone. You can download it.
There you go. You gotta love that.
Shameless plug.
Right.
We love
all
those
your
around
information you need in one spot. I'll tell you what. It is tough being a fan. Especially with social media nowadays, because that's your news source anymore is Facebook, and people are only putting the highlight clips on, and then you're seeing this. One thing I've definitely learned about Ballard is he doesn't go for that bright, shiny object. He does his due diligence, and it's not going to sway his opinion, how shiny that player is. And I have learned to absolutely love and admire that quality. And it teaches me not to go for that shiny. Like Metcalf. Man, I was sold on that dude. Absolutely sold on that dude.
Me too.
Until I started learning more about it. And then like what we was talking about, he can't turn his hips, Shoot him down the line and he's going to make a pretty good play. He's going to fight hard for that ball. And make him run this route or this route. He's going to be inaccurate. Ineffective. And, to me, that was a big, this year alone, eye-waking thing, learning and watching what Ballard's doing and, some of these others, talking to people like you, hey, this is just a little shiny trinket. That's it. That's all this is. And you get that in so many players nowadays because everybody has a marketing guy. Everybody has a marketing guy. This guy's, putting this story out to this place. Or, hey, you can run this story or show this video. And that makes him that shiny object, trying to catch your eye, because that guy is going to get paid more when this player goes higher in the draft.
What's funny, you mentioned the marketing thing, right? Because I see it from, a writer standpoint as far as views go. So if I write an article on, say, Greedy Williams, right, and he retweets it, or people are interested in it, or even, it gets shared in LSU groups, that does a lot more traffic than if I write a piece on like a Jimmy Moreland or a Blaze Brown from James Madison or Troy. Those guys might only before the draft have 1,000 Twitter followers. So if they share it, great,
Yeah.
So you get that from a lot of media outlets, and ESPN's no different. They want to cover the Alabamas and the Clemsons and the Joneses of the world, because it's going to bring them more traffic. So that's what you have to be leery of when you're doing this kind of research.
Very true. And that's the only reason that they are, because that is what.
Well, it goes by
paying their
position too.
bills.
I mean, if you look at it, a lot of people before the draft started, we're going to talk about Finley from NC State. We're going to talk about Daniel Jones from Duke. We're going to go talk about Drew Lock from Missouri, because they're quarterbacks. Because everybody sees the quarterback. He touches the ball on every play. It's that guy. This was probably the weakest quarterback draft in maybe 15 years.
I really like Finley.
He's to me, he's solid. But if you put him in the draft a few years ago, where does he go?
He's a Ryan Fitzpatrick of today's time, I'm telling you. But I will say this. I was at the Senior Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And I picked up my credentials. And I don't want to say I was stuck in the elevator because the elevator was operating. But I just so happened to be in the elevator with Ryan Finley and had a short conversation with him. Super nice guy. And that's the kind of players you always root for. So, I would like to see him succeed. Whether or not he will, who knows.
Yeah, he's got to have the opportunity.
I did watch him play at Notre Dame, not last season, but the year before. Super accurate.
Nice. It's our time.
I think it is.
What time you got to go home?
I told you I kicked it up.
She's going to turn into a pumpkin in a minute.
Well, we got one final piece of business that we got to do. And actually, I told a couple of people we was going to do this at the beginning of the show. And I didn't do it again. I'm failing and slipping on my duty. But our contest winner, our first round draft pick contest winner for the Eric Ebron double signed mini helmet.
I'm drum rolling to see if you get his name right.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to pass that honor to you, Coach.
Okay.
So, anyways, you guys, we had an absolute ball doing this first round draft pick. It's absolutely time consuming. It's hard.
But it's fun.
You never know what the hell any GM is thinking. So to get 2 or 3 right is amazing. Our winner got 7 picks right.
Yeah.
So he's either putting a lot of time in or he's really, really lucky. And if he's that, I want him to buy my lottery ticket for me next week. But, Coach, introduce our grand prize winner for our lottery, or our draft, our lottery. I'm stuck on lottery now. Our first round draft contest.
Eric Solorio.
Yay, Eric!
Fantastic.
Eric, message me. We'll get together. Give me your address. I'll get that shipped off to you. Can't say it's going to be tomorrow because I got a buttload of stuff going on tomorrow. Plus, it's my daughter's birthday. Thursday, yeah, I might be able to get it out to you Thursday. But Eric, message me. We will get all your information like that. But congratulations, and everybody that submitted their first round draft pick. I want to thank you guys. I know it's not easy. Dalton over here saying he's got over 400 hours into his mock drafts. And how many picks did you get right for the first round?
The first mock I did, I had 7 right.
7 right. He's got
Good job,
400 hours in, and he would have tied for the mini helmet if he would have submitted his draft. See, you got to pay attention to the show more, man. You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. But anyways, Eric, hit me up. I'll get that out to you, and congratulations. Everybody that submitted theirs, appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. But you know what? That's what we do. We talk sports. We love our Colts. We have some fun. We have some laughs. Sometimes we take it over the family line a little bit. But we got Christian to bring us back a little bit, hitting the button. Coach, anything else you want to depart on?
I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. This was great.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic conversation. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Fist bump and they left me out of it again. I tell you what, if I had hair, it'd be red, and I would be a stepchild. Thanks a lot, you guys. Really working on my self-esteem here. Appreciate it.
Plug after the show.
Yes.
I'm not. I want it in the middle. I want a big pea sandwich. Anyways, you guys, appreciate everyone. Dalton, thank you again. Had an absolute blast. Your knowledge is, second to none. So you got to get back in here. Talk some more football with us. Be a regular. We won't even charge you this time. But anyways, you guys, be good to each other. No drinking or driving. Remember, an Uber's